Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or these badass cars and trucks we all love to drive, this is your All-Terrain Nation. I'm your host, David Boyd, and that's right, it's podcast night. Kelly's downstairs. I don't know if she'll be up here or not because, well, she's been working all day, man. She's been making the money, man, so that we can do all this fun stuff. But welcome into the show. Welcome in. My name is David. Like I said, auto journalist. Love talking cars and trucks. Do I know everything? No, but I'm willing to learn with you guys. So if this is your first time joining, go ahead and smash that like button for me. I would greatly appreciate it. I hope everybody's having a fantastic Monday. Fall is here. We went from 85 degrees here in Middle Tennessee to suddenly 69 degrees. And I got my old man jacket on. I'm ready, man. Just give me something to the Weather Channel or something to fuss about, and I will be ready to go and have some fun. See people starting to pop in there. Go ahead and say hi in the comments, man. Let us know what's going on. If you are here, excuse me, tonight we're going to talk about a couple things. The new FJ Cruiser has been dropped to the Japanese market, and I'm curious to see what you guys think about that because, well, I'm happy to see that an FJ nameplate coming back to the United States or coming to a market. I won't say United States just yet, but everything suggested it could come to the market. It just depends on your reaction to this. And trust me, Toyota Japan pays plenty attention to what people think across the globe. So they want to sell as many cars and trucks as possible. So if they felt like there was a big demand, they definitely would join in. Say, hey, American market, you get this now. We're also going to talk some PPF. Well, I won't say PPF. We're going to talk some wrapping. That's right. We've got some. I brought out the samples a couple weeks ago. Got it still sitting here, and going over some new samples. And I know Kelly can hear me downstairs, so she's ignoring this. But there's a color that I'm pretty close to choosing tonight. And we'll go over that and let you guys see it and let me know what you think about this. But first off, Superfan Maya is in the house. So I got to say hi to Miss Naya. Naya. Sorry, tired. Hopefully you're doing good. Hopefully you're doing some swimming there, Maya. Hopefully still breaking records, winning championships that you do. First off, as we always do, I got to say cheers to everybody. Once again, long day. This is well needed. Tonight we are drinking Four Roses. Four Roses. Go ahead and if you would do me a favor too, if you would share the link to these videos on the podcast channel out. There's still people that do not know that we're broadcasting exclusively now on the podcast channel. So I want to be sure that everybody knows where we're at. The reason we moved this completely to the podcast channel is just due to, honestly, I think it was screwing up the algorithm within YouTube, and so therefore, trying to fix some problems there. But be sure to smash that like button for me too, because I'm looking at the channel there, and there's only 2 likes, only 2, really. Anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and share this on my socials so people know. Just like I said, let's see. And the feud was in. The feud, OC's feud is wrapping up this weekend, and I'm kind of curious. I'm hoping to get OC on here in the next couple weeks to see how it went. Did she have fun? Was it better than last year? Events are nerve-wracking, so if you've never done one, you spend all this time hoping people show up, hoping they like it, and sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sorry. Can't type and talk. Cannot type and talk. Anyways, so there, shared to my socials. Practice what you preach, I guess. So first topic tonight, I want to talk some wrap with Metro Stylings, where I usually get all my wraps and stuff from. And I'm curious, have you guys ever wrapped a vehicle? Now, Luke taught me how to wrap. I wouldn't say I wouldn't take on the Raptor, my Bronco Raptor project by myself, because there's a lot of bends, curves, and that. Had it been the previous Bronco, I would have wrapped that myself. Like it's expensive in the sense you pay what you pay for the wrap, and you're like, crap, man, I'm gonna ruin this. And you might mess up once or twice, but hey, you got to learn somehow, right? And I'm going to the Bronco is going to get wrapped this probably early 2026 as we prepare to to do something fun for Super Celebration East in Townsend, Tennessee. I went to last year. We noticed we partnered with brands like Novasite, who did all of our lights for us, and we partnered with Kumo tires to make the truck look special. But one thing we noticed was, especially in the rainy, kind of gloomy weather that we had last year, which was a bummer, black Raptors don't draw a ton of attention. So we want to wake that up just a little bit and have some fun, and hopefully do something that you guys like. But I want to go through a couple. I curious what you guys are into as far as wrap. Now we have a black vehicle that makes it somewhat easy to wrap because door jam stuff like that. As long as you choose a darker color, shouldn't be too bad. But it still is a little nerve wracking because, well, this stuff's expensive. Pull it up my phone. Stuff is expensive right now. Silly social media. People saying, "Oh, there's the podcast." But yeah, so I want to bring up, this is Metro Styling. This is, like I said, where I get all the wrap materials from that I use. And this is a color that I'm actually kind of looking at. I sent this to Jess and Mark from ATN Off-Road today, and just got an idea what they think. There's some big chunky sparkles in it. I would like something dark that blends, the black. This lends itself great with the black of the vehicle, so that once again, the door jam stuff like that, I don't have to worry about too much. But also, I know Kelly likes kind of purple colors. It's her favorite color, but maybe not on a vehicle. We've yet to see about that. But this was an interesting color. What an awful picture. What an awful picture. Can't really see. There's some chunky sparkle to it. And see if I can find a better picture that might show it. But I'm thinking something like this. What color would I personally, I would like the green. Something sparkly. I would really like this green color, but, well, I don't know if Mama Bear is going to go for it, but here is a purple that I picked out. This is probably a little too glossy, too light. I think we want something dark. And the cool thing about this color I'm particularly looking at is it kind of, you can see it there in kind of a darker situation. It looks kind of dark, and then when the sun's bright out on it, it kind of lightens up just a little bit. So that's kind of a fun idea for the wrap. Man, I swear I just saw a picture of this silly thing being all big chunk sparkly. Let's try to reset this. There we go. All right, so you can kind of see that. I don't know if that's just a poor image or if that's kind of what it does, but it looks fun to me anyways. So there is that. Or do we look at other colors? I mean, there's definitely all kinds of colors. I know at one point Kelly was interested in maybe kind of that grabber blue. So, maybe somewhere in here that we would do it. Or do you even go something lighter? Like, that's the fun about wrapping, though, is there's so many different options, so many different colors we can choose from. So it makes it fun, but it also makes it super stressful because, you're probably looking, I mean, since I'm not doing it myself, it's probably around $4,000 what I'm looking to spend to have this done. So definitely it makes it a little bit nerve wracking. See here, this is kind of a nice color. What we got going on here? Yeah, see something like that, a little cobalt. She had a cobalt car at one time, so might be kind of fun. See what other colors we got going on here. There's like I said, we could be here all night trying to choose these colors, but here's a matte, kind of a fun purpley matte color. As you can see, definitely lends itself to some color change there. Might be fun, and it might not. It might be something that you get really, really tired of really, really quick. So I am curious, if you're watching this after facts, definitely in the comments, let me know what you think. What colors would you choose if you're going to wrap your Ford Bronco, your Jeep Wrangler, whatever you own? What color would you do with that? Because, like I said, I like obnoxious kind of colors. I mean, that might be a little too obnoxious. She might kill me if I came home with it being that color. Only one way to find out, though, right? Only one way to find out. But yeah, so that's something I'm looking at right now. We'll probably end up trying to schedule that maybe the end of the year, first of the year. I want it looking fresh. We still got some graphics and stuff we'll do on top of it as well. So that'll be fun. But, we got a while yet. Still got a while yet, though Christmas is what, 67 days away. I think I read some of that today, which is crazy to me to think yeah, to think that. So here on my microphone here. What's going on here? Bugs flying around? I don't know. Welcome to Tennessee, I guess. Um also I want to let everybody know we do have an update on our Bronco Raptor coming up too. Is we've owned this thing for over a year now. What are the good and the bad of ownership of that thing after a year? Definitely gonna drop a video on that. Probably drop that one on ATN Off Road. So if you haven't yet, go over to ATN Off Road, hit the old subscribe button. It used to be my Nissan channel, and we activated it back, changed the name of it, and started dumping off-road related products and stuff over on that channel. So go ahead and check that out, and tell Mark and Jess we said hi over there. I drop things over there, but so does Mark and Jess. So, but one more, yeah, well, I want to show you this one more color. I mean, it's the same obnoxious color, but yeah, dude, that would be awesome. I would love that color, and Kelly would hate that color. So, anyways, get it away from that. So let's bring up the old website, allterrainnation.com. I got this article over there. As you can see, the 2027 Toyota FJ Land Cruiser returns. So it used to be just called the FJ Cruiser, and they're bringing that nameplate FJ kind of back. They want to kind of, hey, I mean, I've said this many times, a name of a vehicle is worth $1 billion, just the name of it. So when you have a popular name like FJ, it's worth some money to use. And something interesting about this was, to me, with the size of this thing. It's definitely kind of reminds you of the Suzuki Jimny a little bit. I think it's a little bit bigger than that. But this is definitely a market that I can see in the United States taking off a little bit because it'll be smaller. So it should technically be lighter and more fuel efficient if they were to bring that here to the United States, which would make it a fun vehicle to commute around town in. I would love something like this. One thing I did notice, and they don't really talk about it in the press release, was how much they don't have in space for cargo. But I do love the fact that this whole tailgate opens up just as it exposes itself. No, it's not going to be solid front axle, unfortunately. Arizona Jeep Adventures. It's rear solid axle and I'll bring a pic. I got some pictures where I can zoom in on it a little bit. Going to be independent front suspension, rear solid axle on this, which is appealing. And they're going to use a 2.7 liter. I assume they didn't say that I caught. I assume it's a 2.7 4-cylinder. Makes almost 300 horsepower if I did the conversions right. But the torque numbers are so low. It's like 180 foot-pounds of torque with 300 horsepower or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if my conversions or if I trust them just yet, but this thing looks cool. I mean, the fact that this would be, even if you wanted to have your big beastly Jeeps or Broncos, whatever that you've built, they're almost trailer queens anymore. Something like this would just be fun to have around town, man. Like, I mean, maybe it's a little posery. I don't know. Or you could take this out. I said in the video today that I dropped about this, that it's a fun vehicle for like 95 to 98% of America buys these vehicles and they kit them out, especially Overland Guy, which I'm not shitting on Overland Guy, but I see so many of these guys with every rooftop thing they have on the vehicle. They, like they're about to go on down to South America and they just take it camping, which there's no shame in that. Trust me. But the fact that you buy all this stuff and to kit out your vehicle, which I love building models and stuff, man, Legos, all that. Yeah, it's very fun to build the thing. And after you build your toy, usually you don't play with your toy. But something like this would be fun. I think like if you're going to a national park, you're camping out for the weekend, it's got to have just enough room to throw, your gear in the back of this thing, say, be it a tent, a pole tent, something like that. And you can put a nice cooler in the back of this thing, maybe something like from Set Power, who we use, and you're good. Like you don't, I get caught up in this just as much as the next person of, I need all of this gear. I got to have all the gear because it's fun. It is fun. Like I said, it's fun to build Legos and all this. So I get the appeal of this. And I've built probably 6 or 7 off-road rigs now. and usually wheel them pretty good and just enjoy it that way. And a lot of times I carry too much gear with me. My buddy Luke with Lifestyle Off-Road, we were talking one time where we used to carry all these tools and extra parts and all this stuff and just weighted the vehicles down. So the appeal of having something small like this that I couldn't do all the stuff I would want to do, it might be kind of appealing to me. And now this right now, as what you see here, is designated for the Japanese market, which is you know, it's yes, it's a small market. I have a feeling, knowing Toyota, though, they don't do anything small. They're gonna release it in Japan. I would say, since the Gemini and all that is definitely in the Asian markets, this would go to that market, which makes sense. I mean, it looks like palm trees stuff. I don't know. I can't ever tell anymore if this is photoshopped. Is this real? Who knows? But it's definitely going to be in the Asian markets. I can definitely see it down in Australia. And if there's enough buzz about it, and if people make enough buzz about it online, and always be constructive with your criticisms, don't just be like, hey, because somebody commented today, and I love the comments in my videos of like, oh, it's too small. I don't care. You're like, well, I mean, I hope you watch the video, because I get a lot of people just jump into the comments after seeing a thumbnail and just shit on videos. And that's not just me. That's every creator has to deal with that. But I can see something like this, if you can be somehow get the word out, be constructive, that Toyota would bring it to the US market, because SUVs are king, man. You make a lot of money with SUVs, and this is still built on it's going to be built on the same platform that they're using for the current Land Cruiser 250 Prado that we get, and the midsize pickup truck that's the global truck. So there is, I mean, I can see where this might hit the States. And they're really building out the Land Cruiser name, as it's kind of like what Ford did with Bronco, kind of what Jeep's old reputation was, where the Jeep was known as the Wrangler, the CJs, stuff like that. You just said, oh, I got a Jeep. You didn't have to say, Wrangler. Now the brand's a little watered down somewhat, but I can see them trying to build a sub brand for Land Cruiser as their off-road division, which I'm super happy for. I don't care if you don't like it or not. You have to be excited when there's competition in a market, because that means if Toyota's doing it, once again, largest car manufacturing in the world, if they're interested in playing in this size category, that means there's money there. And that means all it takes would be for Ford to want to jump in. And they kind of play in that category now with the Bronco Sport. This would be similar, though the Bronco Sport definitely has more cargo room. Um, there's a whole new subcategory to play with and to make sales. And Jeep had the little what was it, the Renegade, that little fun thing, which I always thought was cute. Sounded awful, like sounded like your lawnmower running up and down your yard, but it was somewhat capable. I've seen them go up Hell's Gate. I've seen them do a lot of silly things with that. And that's completely independent suspension, front and rear. This at least has a solid axle. And then in the press release too, they're talking about how they understand the aftermarket community, how they want to be able to, there's money past the sale of a car, and they want some of that money now. And they see, we've had since, I want to say, and I know I hate for regular off-roader guy to be put in this category, but I remember like when overlanding in like 6 and 7, you started hearing this name of overlanding. And all these companies like CVT Tents, and they were starting to import all this stuff from Australia, and they created what we have now. And these big manufacturers now, Toyota, GM, Ford, they all see that aftermarket money and they want in on that. So appeal of vehicles like this, which they said in the press release, they talk about we want some of that aftermarket. I think it's cool. And what a great shot, whether that's real or not. Once again, who knows? Probably not. But I love the big glass in the back of it. I like that they have a full-size spare sitting back there. That's fun. Let me pull up the pictures here. So bear with me just for a second. And we'll have some fun here. So where you at? There you are. All right, so here's some more of their official. This is more of their official photos and stuff in this form, very street form. Toyota has a weird boner for that color. I don't know if it was because it was the launch of the Land Cruiser 250 we get in the United States that it's been a popular color for them, grabs a lot of attention, but they definitely have a fixation with that. Now, one thing I did notice, this bumper, everything about this front end really reminds me of the current Land Cruiser we have in the United States. From the little fog lights here, you can see them there. That looks straight out of the kit that they would put together for the Land Cruiser. Um, I love the branding up there. I'm kind of over all the goofy Easter egg stuff, but it is nice to put Land Cruiser in there. I like they didn't put the goofy globe person holding whatever you call their logo is. I'm happy they didn't use that. They went old school with it. Now, being a turboed engine, they got to have massive spot for cooling. So that's people will complain about this. Oh, look at that big chin out there, but you got to have a way to get air into the motor. In this form, it's all right. Um, these look like more like plastic steps and rock rails. I did see a version there where they do have rock rails on it, but yeah, and like in the back, definitely you can see there's just not much cargo room back there. What's up, Ford enthusiasts? Let's see. Arizona Jeep Adventures. Says yeah, it looks awesome. Wish I agree. Wish I had one. I mean, I like I'm not brand like I've owned a bunch of Fords here lately, but I'm not brand like centric. If this is something that I think would do well on the channel, I would definitely buy one if it was sold here in America. This is kind of weird. The weird back design. I'm sure this is some weird aerodynamics thing. The way it pitches back here, it's kind of strange to me. Big glass. Can you imagine that in an accident though? Shattering that. How much is that going to cost? Here is a more safari version, we'll say. Focus here on the back just a little bit. See the hinges here where the door opens, and I have a picture where with that open. Once again, still getting a full size tire, which is nice. I don't know if you could put a hitch on this or not. Since it's a global thing, I don't know if towing with trailers is as important as it would be for us in America. Definitely see the ARB branding up here. So that's a roof rack, and there's ARB skids that I've seen. It's pretty interesting to me. Door here probably going to be a little tight, probably like the old Nissan Xteras about getting in and out of the way the back door on those used to flare out into the way to get in. I never sit in the back seat, so it never bothered me. But we're getting some sort of looks like an ARB branded rock rail. Um, you know, I might like something different, but at least you can get something from the factory. So that's kind of interesting. Now the interior of this, of course, it's on the wrong hand. It's the wrong hand side, guys. We know. But this does give us a good idea what it might look like if we were to get one. Definitely Toyota. Like you see everything about this. If you've been in the new 250, the Land Cruiser 250 here, this just reminds me of that vehicle so much from the air vents, the steering wheel layout, um, the shifter, everything about that. One thing I did find interesting when I was doing this video is I love that the screen's not sticking way out of the dash. I hate that. I hate when they do that when it's poking up in the air, the Tesla thing. So over that. But there's no volume knob, and it was right here. I thought that what a strange place to put the volume knob, but you would have learned to adapt and it wouldn't bother you at the end. Heated seats there, heated steering wheel, so that would be nice here in the United States. The old shifter here, the old high low for your transfer case or whatever they would call this in this. Interesting. I do see a rear locker option, so that's kind of interesting. I'm telling you, man, if you have a good four-wheel drive setup and a locker in the rear, you can go about anywhere. You may have to beat it up a little bit, but you can go about anywhere. Over here, this flat area for I don't know exactly what you would do with that, but probably an airbag. I'm assuming under there. Once again, the air vent up here, not bad. I don't mind the layout at all, especially for what this vehicle is. You got to remember, this vehicle like this is not some trying to pretend it's a $100,000 Series 300. But let's see here, find some better pictures. Nice, powerful. I mean, that's definitely give you the FJ vibes with the hood that cuts over the hood, the big old fenders, and you can see Land Cruiser stamped in the side there. I don't need like 15 Land Cruisers, Toyota. Very bold on the outside. I do like this kind of kick out. I assume that would be plastic. It's kind of nice. People can't run their doors into your vehicle. Let's see. Oh, this is all Photoshop. This is pretty badly Photoshopped. Um, you know, you leave your door open. You got to go throw your arms out in the air real quick, and then you get back in. You did that for the gram. Let's see. This is all from the press release. Hold on just a second. I got some better pictures. Oh man. I need producer Kelly here tonight. That's what I need. All right. Share screen here. There we go. All right, this gives us a little bit better idea of the kit out version. That looks freaking tough. I like the way they've done the round lights. I still like that kind of FJ ish slash Land Cruisery grill up front. It looks nice. Let's see. So here's the rear cargo of it. Now they're talking about this little electric bike they're trying to do with this too, which is just goofy to me. Nobody's interested in that. I just think they're trying to appeal to people who are more environmentally friendly that want to go outside. The Molly panels back here, I'm telling you, when Ford went accessory ready for everything on the Bronco, that woke up a new market. That really did. Before it was just people trying to make some factory point work to add things like this. Now manufacturers have learned aftermarket money. And so these Molly panels back there, I think it looks cool, man. Definitely could see an AR back there hanging out there. Be fun. But as you can see here, kind of focusing in on the cargo area, not much to talk about. They definitely got some Molly panels up there. But that thing folded up doesn't look very big. And you see this little briefcase here. So you're definitely not going out for weeks at a time in this. So it would be fun to try. Something Toyota's learned, put tow hooks under these damn things. The exhaust is right here. But put a tow hook under there because people are going to want to use a tow hook. And I actually like the mud flaps. I wouldn't have the Toyota branded ones, but I kind of dig those big Toyota mud flaps up there. Once again, that's a rendering of some sort. Here's more of the girl sticking her arms up in the air, making the splashies, and then there's Bronco. So I'm curious what you guys think about this, though. So please leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys are into on that. Scott says, let's see. It looks wild and different. Couldn't get rid of my Bronco for it. Yeah, no, I don't think this. I think it's a complementary vehicle for your driveway. I don't think it's something you would replace your bigger, more heavy duty off road vehicles about. But it's definitely complimentary of, hey, I want something fun. And speaking of fun, it's Miss Kelly. Do you have to say anything before I get in there? Well, they're not going to see you right now, anyways. So, yeah, and I am curious about because Kelly hasn't got to see this yet today. So I will be we'll wrap it up here when she gets ready. And yeah, let's see. Magic of television. You been drinking?
No, not at all.
Well, that's a good time. Good time to start. Miss Kelly. So we were talking about this is the next FJ. Okay. Now, let me find a little bit better photo for you here because that's nothing to write home about. So let's go ahead and bring this back up here.
Is this a concept
that they're building?
Okay.
So, so there you go. This is the Land Cruiser FJ. So what they're doing, the way it looks like they're pivoting the Land Cruiser, we're going to call it a sub brand now. Land Cruiser is going to be its own brand. Okay. That's what it seemingly what Toyota is doing. So this is going to be the small, then the Land Cruiser for America, the 250 that we've driven, is kind of the medium. And then they do a 70 series, which is their old looking one that they still sell globally. And it literally is something from the mid 80s that they've moderned up slightly. then they have the big 300 series, which would be kind of like a Sequoia sized Land Cruiser, which we used to get. Now we don't get. It's a long story, but first impressions of this. So this would be bigger than you've seen the little Jeep Renegades.
Mm-hmm.
It would be bigger than that, but I can't say how much bigger.
It looks like a concept to me looking at it, because it just looks like, I don't know, it looks like a Tonka car.
Kind of.
Like that's just what it looks like to me. And so I don't know. I have a hard time with the way that the picture is done. I have a hard time seeing what size it would be.
Yeah, and I might have something. Bear with me, everybody. I may have something I can bring up. Let me go to Toyota's website real quick and pull that up, because there's a picture that I
So this is the
thought-
FJ.
not FJ
essentially.
Cruiser, the FJ. They're using that naming plate, definitely. Bear with me, everybody. There's kind of a here. I'll pull this picture up, so it gives you a little idea of size, even though I can't tell you much about what's going on here. So there are people kind of sitting in the back of it, so you can tell it's small.
So it looks like a Element to me, essentially that size.
That's probably a really good size comparison, and there are definitely some Element vibes to that.
Because it looks like there's kind of seats right behind him. So it does
Mhm.
kind of look like, it looks like the cargo space of like a two-door Bronco.
Well, no, your Element thing is definitely dead on. If any of you have ever been in an Element, when you had the seats back, there wasn't a ton of cargo room back there. It was capable of having a lot of cargo room, but it really wasn't a ton there.
Which, for those that aren't too familiar with the Element, I would say it's probably comparable to a Nissan
Rogue
Cube.
maybe, but Rogue size.
Yeah, probably. Maybe a little smaller than that.
Yeah, it definitely
know.
has that cube back door. The way the back
Yeah.
door was one deal there. Yeah, I think it's interesting. Is this something that ultimately, look, I mentioned in the video today, you can tell the seats are all the way back, and there's not a lot of leg room there. So, yeah. And is this a battery pack? The stadium seating, is that where they could put a potential hybrid battery pack?
Probably so.
Maybe they didn't mention it in their press release that it could be hybrid, but I don't see why it couldn't be. This reminds me a lot of the Land Cruiser that we drove here in the States. I mean, a lot. It's pretty close.
Yeah, at least the instrument cluster is in a good area. You've actually got the infotainment system that feels like it's part of the dash. Like we've talked about that on many reviews, is when it doesn't look like it's part of the dash is when it just looks like an afterthought. And I feel like they actually did try to make it encapsulated in its own entity.
Yeah, but it's interesting to me. I like the idea. So here's the 300 series over here. This is the 70 series, and this is the Prado /250 that we get. And then here's this. I don't think they've definitely, this is all Photoshop dropped in there.
Yeah,
they don't really do a great job of doing size comparison. Give you an idea.
Not at all. Yeah, I would definitely say it's probably significantly, well, especially because even if you see the one on the left-hand side, we know that that's even bigger.
Yeah, this is massive.
Yeah, it's massive compared. Think Armada for our Nissan folks is really kind of the size of that one.
It's interesting. I mean, somebody was asking about the axle. You get a good shot of the rear axle right here. Definitely some skid plate under there. ARB is there's some spots where you can see ARB branded stuff under it. So, it's going to have some good capability for skids and stuff. This is your exhaust. Over here's where your exhaust is, and you do get one little tow hook. At least you get one. A lot of Toyota, the full-size truck doesn't even get a tow hook. So
I hope they try and true that exhaust popping out of that. I'm assuming it's a plastic bumper, because we know in our Bronco, before we had the tailpipe turned down, it melted the back bumper just from traditional exhaust.
But price point of this thing, they've really not given anything yet. But if this thing's not like 28 to 38, they've completely killed the price of it.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Now, there was a tariff comment in the video I dropped of it today, which it's a valid comment that, oh, they won't ever bring this because of tariffs. Well, tariffs aren't forever. And we've seen through the first 6 months of this presidency, he's willing to negotiate with the individual countries on that. So it depends on what it might be at the end of the day. But there you can see there's some ARB skids you can see down there. I find it fun, and you guys know I like weird, quirky vehicles. So
Because you're weird.
100% I'm weird. Kelly, we did talk about earlier about a little bit of rap.
Yeah.
That I was leaning towards the purple a little bit. Which I said, hey, could be worse, could be the green, and you were like, meh. And I was like, she opened the door for some highlighter green for me.
No, I
You
didn't
opened the door. You opened it. Yep.
Nope.
Yeah, you did. You just
I
didn't know you
open
did.
it.
In a perfect world, what color would you wrap it?
Rapid red.
Oh, that would look good.
I know it would.
We could just repaint it.
No, we're not going to repaint it. It would never sell.
Yeah.
When the time comes.
Well, that time needs to come.
Well.
Eventually, not today. We've got our 1 year anniversary video we've got to do on this thing. What it's like to own it.
Yeah.
There's going to be some good and there's going to be some bad from it.
Yeah.
There was one thing today when I just drove to get dinner. I was just like aggravating the piss out of me. My hand on.
Pretty sure I know what that one is. It's the one you bitch about every time we get in it.
I'm pretty sure it's from a ring on your hand.
I can't help it.
I know you can't, but that's also
it's not like I go, let me slice whatever it is.
But it also says something about the durability and quality that the brand's putting
in those
parts.
Yeah.
But so that's
stay tuned to know what that is.
Yeah. We've got, if we don't install a radio in Sydney's Ford Explorer soon, I'm going to get murdered by a manufacturer. Got to do that.
I guess that's a this weekend project.
Maybe. Maybe. We just did a trip in the Raptor. We went down to Chattanooga, Tennessee,
with 2 adults in the back.
I fell down the stairs at Chattanooga, Tennessee.
You sure did.
Which was quite funny.
If you have not seen that, you need to go check out
Bourbon Nation. Go over to the Bourbon Nation channel. Check that video out. I wasn't drinking. Just accidents happen, and then it made it into the video.
Stumbling happens.
Yep. Kelly, in a perfect world, what would our driveway look like if we could have 2 vehicles right now? I know this is a tough one. What would I think a Bronco for you? Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
What would the next vehicle for us be? We've had sports cars. We had the Mustang. We've had Jeeps. Something 3-row maybe.
Yeah, probably. I don't know if the SRT comes or the Hellcat comes in a 3rd row, but in a perfect world, I think I'd like that in the driveway.
You want to get multiple of 6 to 8 people sick at once?
Hey, you just leave it be.
I can't imagine what it would be like to ride in the very back of that.
I gotta look it up.
Oh, it's a 2-row. I couldn't imagine what it would be like, that thing sitting in the driver's seat, the headrest you got. Can you imagine sitting right over the rear axle and somebody guns that vehicle? Wow.
With a 3rd row. Yes.
It does.
It actually comes with a 3rd row as standard.
The SRT.
Yes.
The jailbreak.
Yes.
Because you know what? That's something we didn't even do. We
didn't even do the interior.
We were so fascinated with this vehicle, we didn't even get into the interior of it. I haven't even dropped that video yet. I need to drop that here. Actually, on All Terrain Nation.
Yeah, jailbreak. Yeah. There's 3rd row in the picture.
That's the goofiest thing ever, man.
So there you go. There's your answer. I'd take that in the driveway.
Yeah, but that would be $200,000 worth of
You didn't ask for money. You asked, if in a perfect world, what would I have in the driveway as the secondary option?
That is true. For me, I think it might be.
Is it also Stellantis?
It might be the 1500.
I was waiting for it. The RHO.
Well,
or would you do the Rebel?
I'm curious. Let's pull their website up real quick because we'll wind down on this.
Because I had a feeling yours was also Stellantis.
Which is, we've owned
Which is funny.
We've owned a lot of Ford products here lately. So it is kind of a weird.
And it's truly funny because literally Stellantis has not given us vehicles besides going to these press events, given us vehicles to
They've
test
been very
out.
kind to us. Though.
They've been very kind to us, but I mean, we've not had anything for a week-long drive.
Yeah.
We've only, gotten the opportunity to go and drive it at these press events and things like that. So it's not like they're knocking on our door to say, hey, test our vehicles.
So Ram RHO 1500 starts at $70,000. We'll just say that. Go down here to the Rebel. It doesn't give us the starting price. This is a Rebel X, by the way. I'm not sure exactly.
What's the Rebel X?
I'm not sure exactly the difference here.
It looks like kind of like a Raptor R type thing.
Yeah, probably a little bit, but it's nowhere near an R.
No, but I'm saying like that's what the X is.
Let's do this. I have a feeling we need to go back. So, and this is funny because they killed this off. The Rev is no more.
Yeah, because we actually didn't we have a reservation on that one?
We do, which they've never given us our money back.
I think we got our money back.
I think they bought our lunch last time we were in Texas. Okay, is that kind of getting our money back? If they're willing to buy our lunch at a press event. Let's see here. If their website, and I remember I told them about their website.
Yeah.
Like they have a good looking website till it doesn't work. All right. So this is the 26 lineup here. Tradesman, Express, Warlock, Bighorn.
Which we saw the Warlock. We didn't drive it when we were in Texas.
So here's Rebel, $64,000.
So 5,000 less.
Yeah. So just based off of that, where do you go? Just based off starting price.
Why are you talking about price?
No, I'm just curious where
that wasn't the original conversation.
I know, but I'm just curious. Would $5,000 make a difference if you were like Rebel over RHO? Because Rebel I think it will get the V8. I can
get the V8 in it because they said we could get a V8 in any of the. So I'd probably go with the Rebel.
Really?
Yeah.
So okay, this is a new price tag. So $72,000. It did go up a little bit. So they're side by side. I think based on just looks, I'm probably RHO.
That's because it looks like the TRX.
Now, towing all the goofy shit that you might actually need the truck for, I would be screwed there. Having a 22 Rebel, though, by far blew me away because I wasn't expecting. I had that truck for like 6 months. It wasn't a truck I was expecting to be like, because the goofy shifting on the knob, I didn't like that, or they have a column. And Gruda, the knob didn't bother me at all.
Well, honestly, and I think that's why for me, because the Rebel surprises me for it not being the RHO/TRX. So I think that's probably why I would say the Rebel versus the other.
Yep. Oh, that red's so good. That's so good.
It's almost purpley.
Well, it's the Nazzleberry basically is what that color is. I'm just quickly going through here. I want to find the motor. The interior of it, they've splashed it up this year. They've given it a little bit of red outlines. You can see here. Look, trailer brake, only $300. Not bad. Where are we at? Engine options.
Towing. There it is. Engine.
Oh, nope.
There's
only the inline 6.
I thought they told us the V8 or the Hemi would be available in this.
I know it is in the regular 1500s. It was a late fall edition now that you can order. We've drove that motor though. It's a good motor.
It is a good motor, but I really thought that they told us that the Hemi would be available in the Rebel. Maybe it's just not up here yet.
I mean, it's
because it's a late.
It's a 26 build.
Maybe did they tell it? Maybe they did tell us late.
Oh, let's see here. Now, you go to the so basically you can get the high output version of the close form. Jesus. So here is the which this is a color we drove. Love that color. It was a good looking color. Canyon Lake, I believe is the color. Yeah. Though I would prefer this not to be a two-tone. I love the aggressive look and everything of this truck. I just don't like the two-tone.
See, I actually kind of like the two-tone.
Really?
Yeah.
Would we go big RHO graphics?
Probably. Because you're paying for the RHO.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 100. You don't have to sell me on it. I understand. The wheels,
Oh, I texted all that to you.
I think the wheels look great on it. Um, you're getting a big screen. It doesn't seem as flashy as the Rebel,
Mm-mm.
though you can make this really flashy.
So what if you put a V8 in it? What's the cost on this one?
You can't. RHO is going to be just the inline six.
I really thought they said the Hemi was going to be available in
Well,
those.
RHO, no, because then they'll do a TRX. They'll do a 700 and whatever horsepower TRX is what they'll do. Let's change model though, because let's go to a normal. Just do the bighorn. Let's just go straight to the motor.
You can click on powertrain up at the top and it'll jump.
Here's the 3.6.
There's the inline six.
Inline six.
Yeah, it's not showing the Hemi.
Yeah, it's weird.
Go back. Keep going down. Go to the. No, it's not going to be in the limited. Maybe in the limited. What else is below there? Is there anything?
I mean, these are all plushy.
Yeah, go to the limited. I swear.
No, I mean the V8 is definitely back. There you go.
There it is.
There you can get the 5.7, but it's the e-torque, which is still.
So at least it's an option. It's not a huge upcharge either. It's standard. Yeah. I mean, it's not standard, but it's the choice for $0.
Yeah, which is not. I mean, they didn't have to do that, by the way.
No, they didn't. That was why I was curious of what the upcharge was going to be on it.
But I think right now that would be my truck of choice. I think having a Ram pickup truck, which my brother was a big Ram dude, but never at that time. I was just never enjoyed. Like he had a 2500 or something they bought. It was fine, comfortable, but it just didn't speak to me. But the newer stuff is speaking to me. I like it a lot.
Which is funny because we talked a couple of months ago where we were like, Stellantis needs to step it up before they lose everything. But really, you're starting to see that even in this 26 model year, we're starting to see some impressiveness come from it. So it is definitely interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
we're seeing something different.
And we'll just quickly go over to Ford here. Look at their trucks just real quick. F-150. Now Ford's building price on this stuff is a freaking nightmare because it is. No big changes for 26. They were expecting big changes and then just didn't happen. Let's just view. I can't really build and price it just yet, but this would probably be the 2.7. I can't remember if they still put that in or not. But let's see. Packages. No.
Power and handling.
Power and handling.
V6,
yeah, 2.7 in that is standard. Optional 3.5 V6 or full hybrid V6. No with the XLT. No V8 in that.
See, 2.7 just seems like the 2.7 has a lot of power because obviously we had that in our first Bronco. Mm-hmm. But I feel like 2.7 is just not enough for an F-150.
Okay.
Just because I know the F-150 is a lot heavier, or at least it seems like it's a lot heavier than the Bronco is. And now, don't get me wrong, it goes with that. But I do think that the 2.7 is just a little too weak for an F-150.
Now, Tremor, which would be equal to Rebel.
Yeah.
I one thing I do with this Tremor, I like the more aggressive kind of coloring and stuff that they do with it. Their colors are.
Imagine that it's orange.
Their paint colors are just so freaking bland.
Yeah, they're weak sauce.
Like, Ford, get your shit together with your colors, man. Yeah. I want to love your vehicles.
They're just playing it too safe.
They are. And of course, I don't know if the sales are just getting that close on truck sales that they're like, nope, we're only doing the colors that we know. But you could do rapid red. You could do some fun colors with that. Let's see what else we got here. And then you got Raptor. As of right now, I think the RHO is a better interior than the Raptor. I like, because we've had so many Fords recently, I like the way the operating system works in the interior of it.
Yeah.
But that 22, I'm telling you, that 22 Rebel I had, it was so comfortable. I would do 200-300 mile drives a day. Never felt fatigued in it. It was just so comfortable.
Well, and even when we rode in Tim Esterdahl with a D from Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk.
Plus,
His RHO when we were in Texas, it was super comfortable in the back, even for an adult.
a lot of room.
Yeah, there was a lot of room back there. So, and I don't know that I felt that. Well, no, there's comfort in the F-150 Raptor, but I just don't think it's as comfortable as the RHO.
I'd love to.
It's built for adults.
I would love to compare A and B them next
Yeah.
to each other.
Side by side.
Yeah. You drive one, I drive the other, and then switch and just see what it would be like.
Yeah.
Hey, Ram, Ford, bring us a couple of press vehicles. We'll definitely do that. And remember, it's always opinion.
Right.
Any of your favorite journalists, whoever, it's just opinion about what they like, what they dislike. Now, you may lean towards them a little bit and what they like. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, one last question, Kelly. If we had to choose the next Jeep Wrangler, well, I'm expecting an independent front suspension coming on that vehicle. I'm getting laughed at all the time about it. I don't think Rubicon. I think Rubicon stays solid axle. But say they did a Willys edition, better driving, independent front suspension, still very capable. Or do we stick with the Scout?
You're comparing apples and oranges.
No, I know, but I'm trying to get a feel for what you might like in the driveway.
I think if the Scout turns out the way that they've marketed it, they've done all the things, I think the Scout is the choice there. It's a little less rugged, but I feel like there's that comfort there, and it's the new kid on the block, and it's all the things. So
I would be curious to how the generator, because we've ordered the Harvester, or we've have a reservation on the Harvester. I would be curious how that operates, which is weird to me because you get a smaller battery, but you get more range.
Yeah,
and the engine, the engine is not attached to the drivetrain at all.
Isn't it a gas regenerator? Okay,
but there is something you have to think about with that. For what we do resale, being EVs not super popular right now.
Doesn't mean it won't be when they come out.
No, but resale with EVs is pretty bad.
All right.
But these are the things we debate. We drive everywhere, and we're always like debating on, hey, what's the next vehicle? Where do we do? Yes. Thank you, Douglas Blair. Yeah, join in wherever you see this. I know our numbers aren't what they are on the main channel. Hopefully, more of the main channel people find us over here.
Oh, thanks, Douglas Blair. I have some carpal tunnel in my wrist, and it's been bothering me. So thank you.
From punching me all the time.
Yeah, it's so abuse. So abusive over here.
Let's see.
I think he'd stay more in line if I hit him.
Wow. But guy 8829 says, think a real Wrangler has to keep the solid front axle. The problem, Bug Guy, is they're losing sales now. It's I know the Jeep's at the end of its life cycle, so it's hard to go, well, we're comparing the same thing.
6.7.
Yeah, 6.7. But there's a line drawn in sand now. This is what we are. This is what we are. And it seemingly, I see it in all the forums. I see Jeep people coming to drive a Bronco. Man, drive so much better. You should get in one of the Facebook Raptor groups. Is hilarious because it will be somebody going, hey, I own a Jeep. Kind of, what do you guys think? And it's a lot of Jeep guys go, dude, I came from Jeep. Love it. It's just everything's, I won't say everything's better. This is their words, not mine. But definitely they lean towards this is a better daily vehicle.
Right.
And let's be honest. I would say 90% of the Jeeps never see dirt.
I don't know.
Like Broncos.
I don't know if the statistic is that high.
I'm just throwing something out there. But
I think Jeep has done similarly to what Bronco has done in bringing more people out onto the trails than ever thought that they would. Prime example, I posted a picture. I reshared a picture from...
I gotta bring this up.
I reshared a picture from 2009.
Kelly's second off-road outing.
Yeah. So in one of the softball moms actually commented on it and was like, I'd really like to do that, but I'm scared. I was like, I used to be scared too. Like, I have to go to my page.
Yeah, I was just thinking.
But I told her, I was like, I used to be scared too, and I stopped wheeling for a while after this. But then I came back, and Tim Esterdahl also was like, you just need to get back in there. And I said, well, I did a few years later. So
it was about a year, I guess.
No, because we were pregnant with our daughter then, and we didn't know about it.
True. All right. So famous story to this. Now the photo doesn't do it what it felt like. Just you can see you leaning
100%, because I'm afraid if I keep leaning, it's gonna tip over.
And where the front of this vehicle was not, the back was it wasn't a good. So I was straddling that rut. And what do I always tell you about ruts?
Just gotta go.
Just get in a rut.
Stay straddled over it. And
you might as well but you might as well get in the rut.
Well, but that's not what happened here.
No, I know. I was not obeying my own deal here, and we slid in it. It felt wobbly. This is my friend Jim sitting here. He was on this side of the seat. It felt like it could roll. And now, I mean, you look at it and you can see you're only a foot and a half off the ground.
I probably could have rolled down the window and put my hand out the door and touched the ground. It was bad.
But that truck wasn't going to go anywhere.
But I didn't know that.
No, I know.
And this was like my first wheeling trip too. Missed control issues sitting in the passenger seat on a trip that's way too sloppy. And they actually came over the radio and they were like, hey, when you do this, you've got to go or you're going to end up in it.
Because Luke if I remember right, no, that wasn't a trip you were on. The same spot, Luke got stuck. There was somebody put a stick in there, a tree.
And then he got stuck in it in a bad way.
Yeah. It centered it on his rear diff.
But yeah, so this is the famous picture for those that have ever heard me tell the story.
6.
No, I thought that was 22.
No, this is into 26 because you wrapped around. We just came from the rock gardens. We wrapped around up here, and because the rock gardens weren't that bad back then. But yeah, so this is Miss Kelly's wheeling adventure. Well, Kelly, that's I think a show for us tonight.
Douglas Blair says nothing else drives like a Jeep. 85% of America doesn't like the way it drives daily on road or highway. It wanders. The Bronco tracks straight without a fight, and that's why people now say Jeep. Why can't you do that straight up? Yeah, I would agree. That's definitely kind of. I mean, that's what you were saying essentially is that you've got people that are wanting a Jeep to drive like a Bronco, whether they're going to admit it.
They like the removable doors.
Yes.
Bronco has that. I still think Jeep's done a better job with that.
Yeah.
But Bronco has that. The hard tops are equal, even though Jeep is a 2-piece top where you don't get the center. Bronco has 3-piece top. I could care less, honestly.
I think the new generation tops are comparable. I wouldn't say the one that we have.
No, but I'm talking about like the ability to come on and off of the
I got you.
But yeah, so if it came down to all the similarities, cargo room's pretty much the same.
I'm driving a Bronco all day.
Yeah. I mean, and once again, I know we seem brand loyal because we've owned 2 Broncos in a row. Only reason we haven't owned a Wrangler, which I told you last week, I said at some point when the new Wrangler comes out, we're going to have to buy a new Wrangler to have as a long-term vehicle. And that's why by you smashing the like button here, it gets the channel back on track so we can have 2 vehicles.
They don't want you to have 2 vehicles. They want you to just have the Bronco.
Well, couldn't we have 2 Broncos? I'm playing. I would love to have a Heritage 2-door here, but that's not going to happen.
It would never stay. Like you would get some bug up your butt and be like, I want the next car.
Oh, 100. Well,
So quick, funny story. His dad is 84 now. And he really has no idea what we do. Let's be very clear.
I've explained it for 10 years what I do. And why are you going on a trip?
Let's be very clear. He has no idea what we do. He has no idea why we change cars. He has no idea
worried about our finances.
Yeah, he's always worried about our finances. It's like, I don't know what he actually tells our daughter. I don't know why your dad always has to have these cars all the time. And it's like he has no sense of what it is. So that's the funny thing about it is that the next vehicle that comes home will definitely hear that same thing of like, you got to be smart about your money. And it's like, I promise we're doing it for a purpose. There's a reason for it. But all that to be said.
Yeah. Lots of fun there. So I think that's the show tonight. Thank you guys for your time. We know it's valuable. Please spread the word that we're on Monday nights for one. Not a big change from the other channel, but we're on Monday nights now again. And we're on All Terrain Nation podcast channel. Once again, it's only due to YouTube's weird algorithm BS. Seeing if it fixes the other channel. And seemingly we're getting more
so
views.
far it seems.
Yeah. So we're trying this out. So whether it be 2-wheel drive,
4-wheel drive,
Kelly, it matters what you drive tonight. It really does. I mean, for you, if it's not a Bronco,
it's kind of where I'm at right now.
We're out. Peace, everybody.
See ya.